Welcome to Performance Upgrades. I'm your host, Dave Moss. Today's show is brought to you by SportBikeWrench.com. Performance parts and professional advice. Today's show is all about steering stabilizers, and we have to fit to our Project GSX-R750 a GPR Steering Stabilizer. Our show today will take you through the entire process of what to remove off the bike, how to install this product, and then finish the job. Once we're done with the installation, we'll then show you and give you some recommendations on how to use the product for both street and, should you venture to the track, how to use it at that location. So let's get on with the show. First order of business is to start removing parts. So the first piece we're going to use with our Motion Pro T-handle is get rid of the bolt that secures the tank to the frame. Next task is to go ahead and remove the nut on the upper triple clamp that holds the steering stem. Make sure you grab hold of the handlebar and undo the nut. You only need to loosen it, and then you can pull it by hand. Our next order of business is to go ahead and unpackage our stabilizer, take all the components out, and get our instruction out and see what we're required to do. When you're removing components, be careful because the bolts do come with it, so don't drop those because that could get messy. Our tank mount bracket, and there is a very long bolt in there, so be careful. And lastly, the instructions and the mount for the upper triple clamp. So according to our instructions from GPR, we need to install the base plate first, then go ahead and install, secondly, the tank mount piece, which will sit right here, and then lastly, install the steering damper. One very important part in the instructions is that normally you get a washer and a nut that goes up here. In the case of the Gixxer, we need to go ahead and not use the washer. So I'm going to remove that from the workbench and put it in the tool tray so there's no errors and I don't make a mistake. First order of business is our base plate that needs to go and sit on our upper triple clamp. You're required to go ahead and put some Loctite on these set screws, and that's literally all they are. They don't need to be torqued down. You don't have to drill and tap your upper triple clamp. So let's put a little bit of Loctite on there. And we're going to draw these screws back so that it's flat. Then we're going to position our base plate onto the upper triple clamp. And what we'll notice from the close-up shot is that the V at the bottom of the base plate itself matches the shape of the upper triple clamp. Now, I can feel it wobble backwards and forwards, so our set screws are a little bit too tall. So we'll back them off a bit. Now, we're completely flat. So we need to put our nut on, go ahead and fasten that down, torque that to spec, and then, lastly, put the set screws through to just touching the upper triple clamp. Again, when you're tightening something up, make sure you have it sturdy here. We're on a stand, so that helps. We'll just give it an initial tightening. Make sure that the angle here and the base plate angle itself match up with the triple clamp, which they do. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and run the set screws down until they touch. Remember, these set screws do not need to be torqued. And we're done with the base plate component itself.